Greetings there, Xenogene warriors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, episode 218, Unstoppable Genetics. Perfect. Oh, awful. Yeah, that bed is 77 rest effectiveness. I would say that is appropriately terrible. Good job, Dom. You have redeemed yourself. What genes are left? The only genes left to scan would be single-phase genes, great social off of Sarai, red eyes off of the Hussars, and then there's a lot of single-phase genes left to be scanned. So soon I'm not going to have any non-single phages to even bother. So we got heat weakness and size sensitive, two genes I was not particularly after. Heat weakness I was after for a while, but now I have it, so I don't need it anymore. So it's just great social, red eyes, and a whole bunch of single phages. And then just to make sure that Brahms is set up correctly, we've got herbal meds, prison nutrient paste, and a joy wire. Great. We're doing it. So I was trying, before I was rudely interrupted by the mechanoids, trying to assess for implantations. So, Rogie, you, with nearsightedness, should actually become a brawler. So let's make Rogie into a brawler. Lilin, I think you are... No. So Lilin... No, Lilin's all set. So Rogie needs to become a brawler. Got it. So load template, or rather, crate 4... Rogie, because there's no opposite of nearsightedness. There's not like elven sharp vision or something like that. So there's no way to counteract nearsightedness, meaning that the accuracy that Rogie will have will never be good. There's no way to make it good. So, in order to make you a brawler, we'll give you great melee, awful shooting, awful mining. Actually, before I do that, what do you do? What is your normal skills? So like, you should probably keep mining. So you're going to be a brawling miner. Yeah, got it. That was an important thing that I failed to calculate. So keep them mining. So like, good fingers is also going to be pretty important as well. Manipulation, rather. So great melee, great mining. Awful shoot, awful plant, awful art, awful construct, awful cook, animals, awful int, awful social. You don't, I believe... Whoa, we can actually start to do Unstoppables. Because Unstoppable's a new gene that we got recently that hasn't made its way into the Brawlers, but that would be a really good one to have in the Brawlers. Do you need Dark Vision? No, you don't. Unattractive. Very happy. Now, is there anything I could counteract? You have cold tolerant. I don't have the opposite of cold tolerant. I need a cold weakness. So we gave you Unstoppable. I'll also give you Super Clotting. And we need Kind and Dead Calm. Elongated Fingers. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything... Because we have 10 to play with. Quick Study might be nice, but like, she's already a 20 minor, so I don't think it would be super helpful. So super fast wound healing is always nice. Psychic Doll. Very fast runner. And then I have 3 more to play with. Furry Tail. And Fire Resist. Because you already robust reduce pain, so I don't need those. Oh yeah, strong melee damage. Because she didn't come with strong melee damage. Good call. Strong melee damage. Alright, there we go. That is the Rogie. That's a very good Rogie. Start combining that. All right, next up, Dom. Do you need a reassessment? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reassess the ones that are most urgent, meaning the ones that are like have the wrong settings. So Elabear, you seem okay. Zleb. You're okay. Whammy. Whammy's nearsighted, so Whammy should become a brawler as well. So I'm going to make a few of my shooters brawlers because of their nearsightedness, and then inversely make some of my brawler shooters the ones probably that have... Well, we'll figure that out once we get there. So you are my intellect. So you're going to be a brawling intellect. Got it. Which makes sense. His name's Whammy. How Whammy was never a brawler to begin with boggles my mind. I like how you, in your germline genes, you have great mining and awful mining. What expressed itself? I'm just sort of curious. Probably the awful, right? Where's Whammy? Yeah, the awful expressed. That's funny. All right, Whammy. Back to cooking up a new xenogerm for you. So we're going to keep you smart, and you're going to become a meleeer. So then you can be a bad shooter, bad miner, poor constructor, awful cook, awful animals, awful art, awful plants, awful craft, awful int. No, not awful int. That's the one I can't do. Awful social. All right. Unstoppable. Do you need dark vision? You don't. What do you need? Login and fingers wouldn't be bad. Then we need Kine and Dead Calm. Very fast runner, very happy. Am I missing anything? He comes with strong melee damage. It's germline. No, I think this is it. Looks good, right? Just int, melee, strong melee damage. Oh, you don't have reduced pain. I'm going to drop elongated fingers for reduced pain. Oh, and you're also not ugly. So I can take elongated fingers again, and they give you something else. You have space for one more thing. I've just been making them all ugly. Oh, heat weakness. You have space for 2 more things. 3 more things if I do psychic doll. No, you have... Yeah. Maybe a quick study? Maybe there's something better than that. It's too bad fast runner and very fast runner don't stack. Minor cell instability or major cell instability would be good to give. Yes. It would be... It comes at a... It comes at a bit of a high cost, though, if we end up getting massive cancer as a result. So, like, it's good until they get to be, like, 25 years old, and then it can get real bad real fast. Well, I have 1 more point to spend, and I don't know what to spend it on. So maybe I'll just drop one of the negatives. I'll drop, I'll make you slightly more attractive. How's that sound? No, I have dark vision. It's germline. Alright, there we go. There's the whammy. Good enough. Oh, I have not been careful about who's been making these beds. And clearly I should have been, because these are excellent beds, which is the very opposite of what we wanted. So Dom, come back. You're gonna reprise your role of a horrible crafter. So Dragondale, you don't have near vision, so you can remain a shooter. So then the question is, I'm moving 2 shooters into brawler mode. So for me to do the inverse, I need to either find brawlers that don't have free-wielding weapons. So Jack could become a shooter, because Jack has a free-wielder blade, so that would be fine. Frosty is... Fyup and Tordek don't have free-wielder blades. Stevie Viper is a meleeer with nimble and fast walker, so should not become a shooter. Apoleus also could be... yeah, Apoleus could also become a shooter. What about Stickiest? And Stickiest. So I could make Apoleus, Stickiest, and Jack a shooter, and then Stevie Viper can take Jack's blade. So those are the... Jack, Apoleus, and Stickiest are going to become shooters. Maybe. Alright, I'll ask you. How many of my brawlers should become shooters? 0, 1, 2, or 3. You know, I'm going to type these out. Because it's weird if you... Yeah. The way this polling works is if you write out like 0, or it will work as well. So, yeah. It's... If I did 0... Yeah. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. So those are the choices. How many shooters do I have? So if we don't count... Right now, I have 10 shooters. And after doing this xenogerm implantation, I'll be down to 8 shooters. And then I have 7 brawlers, which I'll be up to 9 brawlers. So I'll have 8 shooters, 9 brawlers. Once this is done. And just to double check if they have traits. So Stickiest has a nimble trait, probably best for brawling. Apoleus doesn't have any traits that are conducive to brawling or shooting. Neither does Jack. So Jack and Apoleus could easily become shooters at no consequence. I probably shouldn't have included Stickiest, because Stickiest has nimble. Nimble's better for brawling, obviously, because, you know, you want someone good dodging to be in your front line. So actually, if I was to vote, I would vote for 2. Because Apoleus and Jack can both become shooters at no real consequence. But I'm happy to ultimately leave it up to you. Dom keeps, like, not building. It's actually really funny. I'm just making sure that they're not, like, starving to death. Yeah, both of them are pretty hungry. So I'm gonna have them take a little lunch break from building the world's worst beds. Oh, Dom, that's the wrong food. Why are we making regular 5 meals anyway? I think these are just... Oh. What? Oh, wait, no, they're correct. I guess I'm giving them the lavish meals, but oh well, whatever. Wendy doesn't care. Nope, Fyup, you can't do that. Zleb, you'll continue. Just gotta make sure that terrible constructors are the ones building it. What would actually make it easiest is if someone that was actually good at construction did like 99% of the work, and then the terrible constructors finished the projects. That's just really hard to micromanage, which is why I haven't been doing it. That would greatly reduce fail chance. Alright, so we're going to go with 2 of the brawlers are going to become shooters, which also helps because I only have 2 gene assemblers. So once Whammy and Rogies are assembled, I'll assemble... So Jack has no shooting skill so far. Apoleus has a shooting skill of 4. Okay. Well, it's going to be Jack and Apoleus, even though Stickiest has a shooting skill of 2. That's another awful bet. So Jack and Apuleius will become shooters. Cool. Lillian, you don't have nearsightedness. I don't know why you're using a shotgun. I can fix that. And then I'll adjust their gear and everything. There's a lot of adjustments to be made. Because shotgun go boom? It does! I mean, DPS-wise, shotguns are some of the strongest weapons in the game. They just have no range. So they're very difficult to use efficiently. Are we almost done? No, we still have so many more bugs. Damn. Please suck. Come on, Zaleb. I believe in how terrible you can make this bed. Awful! It's too bad that I don't have slab beds. Actually, slab beds are uncomfortable, but I don't think they have any worse rest effectiveness. But it's too bad I don't have slab beds as part of our ethos. I would happily make the prisoners sleep on slab beds if I could. Oh, pessimist. But that just goes to show how fast the growth vats are. Maxu was a newborn. The start of the stream is already 7. So if you take a look, it's gonna look pretty funny. But if we take a look at the chronological age, Maxu is 10 days old. Biologically, a 7-year-old. So and Maxu's a bad person to look at because Maxu was very, very sick at birth and spent a lot of time recovering out of the pod. Whereas this individual, this Fletcher Cross Sky Collective, if they're born healthy, will be a really good example of how fast those growth vats are comparing biological to chronological age if that baby spends their entire time in the pods. Oh, I also have to fix the nutrition here. There we go. So let's stop that. So Maxu's pod is very low on nutrition. I think, as painful as it is, Wendy is going to have to start cooking. So that's okay. I mean, it's just a necessary part of gestating. Oh yeah, one of these pods is literally 0 food. Getting biostarvation warnings. So over here, what I could do is do baby food forever at the bottom of this bill. Made of rice. So that when the other fabricors are done, they just keep making baby food and dropping it on the floor to be hauled. Hopefully that will help. Oh, Whammy, you're making your own xenogerm. That's cool. So the next one we wanted to do was Jack. So Jack, do you have any other skills that I need to accommodate? You plants. Okay. So Jack should be good at plants. Colonist. Jack. I can also give you weak melee damage. That's food for thought. So you're going to become a shooter. So we're going to override your poor shooting with great shooting. Cooking, animals, construction, mining, intellectual, social, art. But good plants are great plants, which pairs with psychic doll, which is fine. Make you ugly. It's kind of free. Kind and dead calm. So you have 7 points left over. make sure that we have what we want. Great shooting, great plants. Yep. We can also give you very happy, fast runner. I don't think you have dark vision, so I need to afford dark vision somehow. So we can give you weak melee damage to afford dark vision. Because you have germline strong melee damage, which is expensive, especially if you're going to become a shooter. And then I have 2 points left over to play with. Let's make you unstoppable. Cool. A shooter who's unstoppable is less beneficial than a brawler who's unstoppable, but still, there's some benefit. Is there something better than unstoppable? That would be the other question. I don't think there is, really. I mean, one could make the argument that that fire resistant might be better. Oh, an awful craft, yeah. Good call, Marcelinos. So we'll give you fire resistance as well. Cool. I like this Jack gene. Got your dark vision, great shooter, great plants, happy, fast runner. Yeah, this looks good. I hope I didn't overlook anything important. Oh, also heat weakness. Good call. Because you were heat tolerant. Yeah, what I need to do is I need to create like a template. Although the problem with templates is they don't work for create for pawn. You can either load a template or create for a pawn, and not both. So like templating the generic sort of like heat weakness, kind, and dead calm, like that doesn't unfortunately work. I wish it did. So we have some more points to pick. Maybe what I'll do is dump... let's see. I could make you... oh, you know what? Maybe we could try for a never sleep. Yeah, let's do a never sleep farmer. That sounds like a good idea. So you're going to be a never sleep farmer. Perfect. I like it a lot. This is good. And then Whammy. Trala. Hard worker. Bloodlust and hard worker? Man, you're going to fit in. Like you already. Hey, Greg. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate the resub. Hope to catch you in a stream. So Whammy's done. Once Whammy's up, I'm going to rely on you guys. You're going to have to remind me to replace the assault rifle and the insanity lance for a brawling weapon. You can use a template for pawn. Can you, though? Well, I'll check once the gene assemblers are done. I want to believe you, but I think I've tried that. Oop, don't drain low. And it didn't work. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to take a second look. Which trait gets Pyromaniac? So the reason to keep Pyrophobia, you mean? The reason to keep Pyrophobia is it counteracts Pyromaniac. So if they're a Pyromaniac, and I want to have them not set fires to the base, I can give them Pyrophobic. But Pyrophobic is its own problem. Because if they're Pyrophobic, and there's fires during the fight, they're gonna be uncontrollably fleeing from the fight. So it's annoying. Oh no, we have a sickly. That's gonna be annoying. You're talking about the baby who just got hardworking? Trala? The more detail you have in your comments for me to be able to understand, the better. If it's a vague message, I'm not likely to fully understand it and might ignore it as a result. So you're wondering about Trala, about pyrophobia? So the reason that the ones in the vats have like negative genes is just because it doesn't matter. When they're in the vat, I can have them have whatever genes I want. They're not really working. So, you know, the people in the vats can have like go juice dependency and pyrophobia and things like that that offset metabolic efficiency by a lot. But like, because they're never outside the vat and never around fire, it's kind of a freebie. So that's why the baby xenogerms look the way they do. Oh, have you been... Well, whatever the case might be, you need to die. Having Wendy cook up some more industrial meds. In fact, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have another shelf here of herbals. Oh, wouldn't it be terrible if Trala gets good traits and then for the final gets a bad trait? No. I'm used to my colonists having terrible traits. That's nothing new. Tons of the colonists have truly atrocious and horrendous traits, and it's so normal at this point that it really doesn't matter. Rogie is almost cooked up, and we just cooked up Jax. Alright, and the last one was Apollo. So Apollo, you are also plants. So if I can have you be a never sleep planter. So let's try to make a template and see if the template works. So the template would be, the ones that we really want are heat weakness, very fast runner, very happy, dead calm, and kind. So I'm going to call this template test. And then load, template test, create for Apollo. Oh, it did work. I guess you maybe updated it since last. So Apollo, let's get that together. So weak melee damage, never sleep. We wanted you to be plants and shooting. So awful mining, awful cook, awful animals, awful art, awful int, awful social, awful craft. It's too bad I don't have poor melee standalone bound with that. So negative 13, we need to do a lot better than that. Very unattractive. Might need to lose the very fast runner because this is becoming kind of hard to afford. Do I have all the awfuls that I wanted? Awful art. Poor construction. Yeah. So yeah, I think if we want you to be a never sleeper, I'm going to have to ditch the very fast runner. Unless I can think of something else to add. Dark vision. Yeah. You won't have reduced pain either, but that's okay. Okay. So maybe we just not have you be a very fast runner. Does this look okay? Great shooter, great plants, awful everything else, never sleep, very happy, dead, calm, and kind, with unattractive. Just gonna spend a second just to glance at the other genes that we can introduce. Maybe there's something I'm overlooking. I could do intense UV to try to get you to be very fast runner again. Because you're going to be inside doing plants most of the time. But then I still need one more point coming from somewhere. And it's not obvious to me where that extra point would come from. Unless I give you something horrible like extra pain or delicate. But I don't really want to do that. And I don't want to give you the major cell instability either. Although you're young, it wouldn't kick in immediately. So the major cell instability, if you're wondering, is it takes a while for that to kick in. The immunity gain you inherit immediately, but the cancer rate factor, I think the youngest you can get cancer is like 25 in RimWorld. So most of the... Let me double check. Cancer. Maybe it's 21. No, it's 20. Or... The youngest human pawn can get carcinoma at normal age at 23. So at 23 is when that kicks on. So it would not apply to the really young in the colony, but it would quickly become an issue if I start running major cell instability for all of the pawns, because then as soon as they hit like their 23rd birthday, they would start getting cancer like crazy because because they will have nuclear stomachs and major cell instability. The mean time to get cancer at that point would be like days. I could give you psychic death, intense UV, and then very fast runner. Fresh cut meat. What a name for this series. I love it. So here's the Apollo. Yeah. We'll cook it up. You never touch templates? Should have always worked. I ran into some issues, but I forget what stream it was. That the templates were like getting weird. But I could be misremembering, or I did it wrong. It doesn't really matter. If it works now, it works. That's what matters, right? So this is done. Taking a look at my resources, steel is going to be needed again. And I think just out of convenience, for the zone lockdowns that I usually experience, I'm going to put the deep drills into the Killbox and tap the Killbox's steel, because I have power nearby and all that stuff. So Rogie's is done. Implanting. And then the last one was Apollo and Jax. So Jax got cooked. Whammy got cooked up. Did I make Jax? Yeah, I did, right? Because he's the planter one. So I'm sending Rogie and Jack to rest. Another thing to note is Rogie wouldn't necessarily be a bad candidate for Luciferium, given the scars. I'll have you guys decide. Should Rogie take Lucy? So originally I had Mass hooked on Lucy, because Mass had 2 brain scars, which was relatively expensive. The alternative for Rogie, if you vote for no, is to put Rogie through Biosculpt pods, or use heal serum, or just ignore the scars and just be like, whatever, I don't care about scars. That's a totally reasonable third alternative. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. Glad that didn't bite me. The antigen warheads were in the regular mortar stockpile. That is what I would call not good. Okay, there we go. So Jack, you are now a never-sleeping farmer. And Rogie, you are a minor meleeer. So I'll have to adjust their gear and weapons once they're out of their comas. And Whammy's down too, and Apollo is on his way. Lucy fits the theme? I agree, not for Wendy, because she wouldn't believe in being dependent upon something, but for the others, absolutely. Provided there's always a supply, which there isn't necessarily always a supply. Oh, wow. It is cold. Wow, it is really cold right now. It's cold enough that this farm is having problems with their growth rate. So let me check the other farms. Here's the temperature overlay. So you can see this area is warm enough, but this farm is getting too cold. So I gotta make some heaters in there. So question for you all, or rather prediction, will I get something off of Evie? For the record, Evie is just, I'm trying to get red eyes and red eyes only. So the chance is relatively low, given the quantity of genes that I could scan. But any gene pack or gene bank, including red eyes, would be fine. So, prediction for you. Maxu's pod is getting remarkably low on nutrition. In about one day, it will be bad. Oh, but you know what? We are getting plenty of baby food down there. Another thing I could do is to force higher priority hauling briefly to carry the rice and meals and everything to the proper stockpiles. This is darker because this is eventually going to be the color of the entire colony. It's just I don't have enough dyes to do that yet. Last stream we had a poll about what color we want the colony to be, and the floors are going to be that color once I have the dyes for it. Are you digging, really? Come on now. Digging up slate. Stupid. Yeah, we decided a dark, the black flooring and the red walls. Just the amount of dyes required is a lot. So Maxu, the growth vat with all the accelerators takes 18 nutrition a day, and there's only 16 nutrition loaded in there. There we go, another batch. So it's a lot of nutrition required for the babies. Frosty got the plague. Nothing new there, given that she's sickly. Pretty typical. let's finish that last xenogerm. I don't think that there's any other xenogerms to be addressed, but I will glance at the rest of them. Or rather, I can poll you guys to see if you want me to improve the other ones. Ooh, inspire surgery. Because I could start working like unstoppable and heat weakness and things like that into the other xenogerms, if you want that to stay a priority. Alright. Thank you for watching The First Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch July 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, it also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigo,